Welcome back everyone. So in this video we are going to discuss how to write the ERAS CV in order to get the maximum number of interviews. But before we go any further, if you haven't subscribed my channel, do subscribe it and share the video with your friends. So first of all, talking about the interviews, few things you cannot change, like your USMLE scores and your United States clinical experience. But things you can write in your ERAS CV can help you get more and more interviews irrespective of your scores. So we are going to talk about those factors. Here I want to give you realization of the importance of ERAS CV. So when a program downloads multiple applications, they download it with different screening filters. Each program have their own screening filter criteria. Some have USMLE scores of 240, others have 220, some have USCE, US clinical experience as one of the filters, and some have year of graduation filter as well. These are the things that you cannot change, but once your application is downloaded, it will be reviewed by multiple members of a review committee. And if your CV is right, and they think that your CV is kind of unique and shows that you have a very unique and a different personality and a very strong personality, then there are increased chances that you will be getting an interview call. And depending upon your CV, your program that invited you for an interview might rank you higher in your NRMP rank order list. So before we go from top to bottom of the ERAS application, one thing I want you to remind is don't lie about anything. Be honest. Although ERAS do not require any proofs or any certificates from you, but this doesn't mean that you have to lie about your gaps or your US clinical experience. Also, take a look at all of your life, what you have done. Anything can make a big difference. So take some time, reflect all the activities that you have done since childhood. Any of these activities can make a difference and land you an interview. Also, don't boast about your achievements, but tell them in a very humble way that other people would like, and they don't consider you as a very arrogant person. One thing related to your ERA CV is your profile picture. Make sure that you have a very good smiling face in your ERA CV picture. Some people have like emotionless face, so I would tell you, make sure that you all of your teeth are visible in your picture because they want a very happy person. Again, this thing may sound lame to you, but I have asked multiple people and including program directors and program coordinators, and they have told me that it works. They also make sure that you suit up in that picture and don't wear any scrubs or any casual clothes. Now we will go from top to bottom of the ERA CV as it is in the ERA software. So the number one thing is the demographics. In the demographics, they ask for two different addresses, the present mailing address and the permanent mailing address. Make sure that you fill both of these and both of them are different. One I will suggest should be in the Pacific, Northeast Pacific area, and the second one in the Midwest area. Or if you have any connections to a particular area, write that, because the program directors want somebody who is closer to the area, who has links to the area. If you have two different addresses, there are more possibilities that you will be getting an interview from two different kind of regions. So I would advise write both addresses as different. The thing is that they won't be mailing anything to these addresses. Everything will be through the email. So it doesn't matter that if you are living there or not. They just want living proof. So even if you are in the India and you know somebody who has an address, write that person's address. The next portion is the membership and honorary or professional societies. So as IMG, as most of the people won't have any alpha omega alpha chapter in their school, so I would recommend any society that is related to medicine that you were part of. Write that, like I was part of the International Federation of Medical Students Association Pakistan chapter, betterly known as IFMSA. So I wrote it. I was part of some societies of my college and my affiliated hospital, so I wrote those here as well. So anything that is related to your medical education or your medical school, write it here. In the medical school awards, if you have any gold medals in your medical school, or any best resident or best kind of like student awards, write it here. In case if you don't have, don't worry, you can write like first division in your examination, it still works. Next important part is the volunteer experience. The US program directors, they love people who had done any volunteer experience. It does not need to be related to medicine. It can be anything else, like community walk, or like cleaning a beach, something like that. I did a volunteer experience in Pakistan, my home country, as well as in United States. So don't worry if you haven't done any volunteer experience in the states, because everything you have done as a humanitarian will work. It doesn't matter whether it was done in the United States or in the your home country. You also have to mention your supervisor during that volunteer experience as well. The way I wrote my volunteer experience was like, what was the aim of the volunteer work? What did I did? What was my role? What was expected of me? Not like I was boosting anything about myself. I was just boosting about the things that were part of that project, and it's the way it should be written, not the way that you are glorifying yourself again and again. After that, we have the work experience. In the work experience, you can write anything that you have done in the United States, like electives, observerships, externships, or even if you have done anything in your home country, it still works and still matters. Make sure that your timeline on the work experience in your CV is the same as mentioned in the letter of recommendations that you took from these people. Again, with the work experience, don't glorify yourself that you are a great clinician, you were Dr. House, you diagnosed this and that, you managed patients really well. Just identify what your roles were, what was expected of you, how many days you worked, what were the interesting cases you saw, and how did this rotation improve you as a person and as a doctor. So you can write as many work experiences as possible. Again, the United States clinical experience takes precedence over your local country experience, but you have to write both, and make sure that there isn't any gap in between, and every time is filled up with something. Don't lie. If you have done like a little private practice, mention it as well. So the next thing is the research experience. Most of the people that I know didn't have much research experience, and that's the case with most of the students applying for the residency, since they didn't have any time to do proper research. So don't worry if you have done like a very small study or small research, even a case report with someone, that still works here. There is no need to take so much worry about the research experience. So I had a very small research experience of like 2 months that I did during my fourth year of med school, and I wrote it, and it still worked. Even if you haven't done anything, don't worry about it. I think it should be the least thing on your worries. I hope all of these things will help you in writing a very good CV, and will help you getting more and more interviews. Do let me know in comments which other important topics you want me to discuss, and please subscribe and hit notification button for more upcoming content for your upcoming residency journey. Thank you all.